I wanted to share a little bit on cryptocurrency, and I wanted to talk in lengths about cryptocurrency. I want to talk about some statistics that have been unfolding. I want to talk about my market evaluations. You know, we take a look at Bitcoin, take a look at all cryptos. We'll talk about that. Volatility is expected to continue, so I want to also show you what we're doing in the crypto world too. So the winner, when you take a look at the last 30 days in the stock market, the bond market, oil, gold, any other asset, and you team it up against Bitcoin, Bitcoin is the clear winner. Okay, up 23% from the last 30 days. It is the best performing asset amongst all assets that are out there that I'm tracking, the high level assets. Yeah, there might be a stock or two that performed better in the last 30 days, but I'm talking about the biggies. Okay, the biggies. Bitcoin is the biggest one. In fact, if you compare it to the stock market's only up about 7.3% in the last 30 days. Oil is up 3.3%, and gold is up 1%, maybe a little less than that when you take a look at what gold is doing today. Here's another thing I want to mention. So I talked about this last week with my crypto option traders, and we were talking about the 8 largest assets in the world. And gold is the number 1 traded asset in the world with $22 trillion in assets. You got Microsoft at number 2, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon. Bitcoin is now number 6 on the list because it overtook Apple last week and flipped Alphabet, not Apple, flipped Alphabet. Silver is at number 8. Bitcoin has slowly been going up and taking market share away from these large assets. So I put here in the middle, I wanted to add this. Well, what is it going to take for Bitcoin to get to number 1? And that is if nothing else on the left changes except for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin at 101K flipped Google. At 140K, it's going to flip with Nvidia. It's going to flip Apple at 150. It's going to flip Microsoft at 164. It's going to flip gold at 1.1 million. So quite a bit to go to for it to flip those. Oh, by the way, for Amazon to flip, I believe Bitcoin has to get to 120,000. So that would be the next flip, would be to flip Amazon. So I see Amazon flipping, and I think Amazon's going to flip rather quickly. I'm going to show you why here in a moment. And of course, it is the next one on the list. So Bitcoin's high today, this was early this morning, was 105,783. The closing high, and this is the closing all-time high. Now, what we do is we look at the close of the day as of 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. That's when the reset happens day to day. Closing high on Bitcoin, you got to go back to the 21st of January or 22nd of January, 106,156. Yes, I know that there's going to be some people out there that are going to comment and say, no, Tom, Bitcoin was at 109. Yes, that was the all-time tippy-top high. But if you look at closing highs, 106,156 and 105,783 was very, very close to the closing high that happened earlier this morning. Now, where could we go? All right, so I got a good friend, Jay Capel, who looks at seasonality just like I do. And he looks at them a little differently than I do, but we're all looking at the same thing. And so he posted a chart, and I grabbed that chart, part of that chart, and threw it here where it says BTC is here, and I updated it a little bit because this was last week. And we are right in the middle of, if you saw what happened last week, and he had something like about a 10-day move. Now, it includes weekends too, so keep that in mind because Bitcoin trades every day. He had a 10-day move where we see quite a bit of a spike in BTC. Now, we're about halfway through that move right now, so I ran through Tom's Option Tools our money calendar, cryptocurrency calendar. And I can confirm between the next 5 and 9 days, we have a better than average chance going from 71% to 85% that this trend is likely to continue over the next 5 to 8 days. So We're both speaking the same language here, folks, right? That there's some short-term seasonality that could push us above all-time highs. Well, where could we go? All right, so we could go above all-time highs for sure, but this is what I'm looking at based on the data that we've got that we ran so far, from going back to June of 2024. So if you go to June of 2024 and you look at the low in Bitcoin to the January high, that was about 52,000 points of running room from about 54,000 to 106. 52,000 range points from the low to the high. We've pulled back since January. From January to April, we pulled back from 106,156 to 73,895. That was a 32,000 point move back. That was 50%. 50% of the move from June to January got taken out from January to April. So if you take the all-time, the all-time high, you take the all-time high, that closing high, and you add that January to April pullback of 32,261 to it, that gives us an extension level, which gives me the next move I expect on Bitcoin to be above 138,000. That would definitely put Bitcoin ahead of Amazon and put it into the number 5 spot, possibly the number 4 spot, depending on what the stock market does during this time frame. So I want to set all that up for you to show you what's been going on and how are we doing? What are we doing? What we've been doing? What we've been doing is during that January to April area, we've been going in and looking at Bitcoin stocks and crypto stocks. All right. And we're running about a 2-to-1 win-to-loss ratio. And most of that was with Bitcoin coming down. When you drop 50% in Bitcoin and you drop even more with the smaller coins, all right, before the run-up, and yet you're still winning 2 out of every 3 trades going forward, you're doing something right. And that's what we've been doing. We've been investing in trades like Coinbase, iBit, AMD, MicroStrategy, so on. In fact, our open positions here recently have now flipped to 5 and 1. These are all of my open positions right over here, 5 and 1. And by the way, those are all crypto option trades. Our coin alerts, which we have a few for the year, are all running profitable. So if you want to know exactly what we're doing and you want to tag along, hey, that May offer that I've been talking about, it's good for Crypto Option Trader too. The links are right there for you. Check them out below and you can get the links on joining us to become a crypto option trader, which is in an area that I believe is going to be the next big run up right now. So in summary, Bitcoin's inching to new all-time highs. We are expecting a breakout, a short-term breakout. We believe that's imminent, so be prepared. In fact, I'm going to be taking a little bit of money off the table this week if that happens, right? And those of you that follow me, you know what I'm talking about. I sent you details on that this morning. But we also expect the pullback shortly after, which is going to be ratcheting up for new trades to happen going forward in both cryptocurrencies and crypto options. So stay tuned on everything that's going to happen crypto.